Kindle list, you cannot predict my taste at all. So it is very confusing for certain people. But I just love reading books on any subject under the sky. That's about me. But I work for a company. I work as a product manager. I also play the role of a test architect. So that's about me, and I've been working in software industry for about 10 years now.
Welcome to the book club, Balaji, and waiting to hear from you, because anyway you have a lot of collections already in the Kindle, the books you have already touched and started reading. So sure. We'll wish that you are speaking in the upcoming book clubs.
Yes,
definitely. Definitely.
Yes. Hi Kiran, welcome.
Hey, hi guys. Good evening.
Good evening, Kiran.
Good to see everyone.
Yeah, we have few more people joining in. So before that, a brief intro about ourselves. So we are Bharat Supra. I am currently working as a technology lead. Have close to 8 years of corporate experience. Supra also is also working as a release manager, and she has close to 7 years of corporate experience. So along with that, we have been part of PIM for close to 2 years now, and we are organizing this book club. So we'll just give you a brief background of PIM, and after that I'll be showing why PIM for us. Okay, so I'll just be playing a quick video about it. Just a second.
Is it audible, Kiran?
Is it audible?
Welcome to Peak Impact Mentorship, your partner for personal growth. If you're here for the very first time, let me give you an introduction about PIM, Peak Impact Mentorship. In 2008, I was working in a very renowned semiconductor company, Qualcomm. I was enjoying my job. The job was quite good. But there was always a void. Deep within the voice was coming, is this all my life is? That I go to office in the morning, I come back home. I go to office in the morning, I come back home. In fact, I feel the analogy like this. Imagine you are seeing cricket now, which is quite popular in India. And imagine you're watching a match in which you have 50 overs in your hand, and the players, the batsman, is just taking singles. They're not trying to take any risk. They're not trying to hit any boundaries, any sixes. And the overall match is just scoring 160 runs in 50 overs. And that was the batting pitch. How would you feel? Would you enjoy that match? I'm sure you will say no. You want that thrill, you want that excitement. Imagine the same thing, God watching from the heaven and seeing that He has given you 50 overs, 70 years, and you are just taking singles, going to office, coming back to home, going to office, coming back to home, going to office, coming back to home. There is nothing but good running between the wickets. A lot of hard work for sure, but God will be disappointed. That why did you try it? Why didn't you hit some boundaries? Why did you hit some sixes? Why did you bring out the best in yourself? That was the whole idea. And that's where Peak Impact Mentorship comes into picture. At Peak Impact Mentorship, my biggest dream is to disturb you, to stretch you. If you are successful, I want you to come up and start fighting for the significance. If you're right now struggling in life, I want you to become successful so that you can contribute to the society. I always tell to people one thing, to all my students, that as soon as possible achieve success. And how do I define success, by the way? It's a relative term. In that, you know what? John Maxwell, my personal coach and mentor, he had given me long time back in 2008 a wheel of life, which you can see here. There are 8 components. He has divided life in 8 components, out of which career and money is just 2 parts. Other 6 components are there. And I understood. So it means I found a very simple formula of success. You know what is that? You are not required to sustain your family. It means your family can run without you as far as finances are concerned. Then you will be considered successful, at least in one component. Now, when you have achieved success, at least you'll have time to start contributing to the society for a bigger cause. And that's what I've been doing. Since 2008, for first 6 years, I built a business, set up the flow, and in 2014, I came out of my job. 4-5 years I enjoyed, by the way. There's no harm in enjoying. After leaving my job for 3-4 years, I enjoyed my freedom. And from last 3 years, I am on a bigger, much bigger mission. My mission today is to create a society where we all can add value to each other. And that's where PIM comes into picture. So Peak Impact Mentorship is an organization with one fundamental core value: to bring out the best in people, irrespective of your background. That's what is PIM for you.
Okay. Thank you guys so for watching it patiently. So actually 2 years back, very fortunately we have attended one of Vijay's workshop. That's when PIM values and our values aligned together. So since then we have been actively participating in all the initiatives of PIM. So along with book clubs, we have our own health club, and also we do organize weekend workshops as well, which is predominantly into personal growth, career growth, and even mindset. So in case if you want to know further details about it, reach out to any one of us. We'll share, we'll help you with all the details. So without any further ado, we can start our book club session for this week. Yeah.
Yes, so we can get started. Before that, I would like to add a very small line. Like, I really wait for this Wednesday for the entire week to come, because I will be very excited every single week. The reason is I really read so many books and I will be so confused that which topic I should be sharing with my audience. The reason is very simple. There will be, when you read so many contents, you really is confused at which will connect your audience. The only purpose for me to read books is not only to do the value add only on my life or anyone. I never share any of this talks which I read with Bharat, because we really don't get time. So this is the only time which I spend with each of you, including Bharat, so that when I share a story or when I share a content, it's completely new for all of you, and that message could take you somewhere, or you could share that with someone and it could impact someone's life. So let's get started.
Yeah, and a couple of things. So we already have a set of decided speakers. So each speaker will be getting 3 minutes time. So we'll be having a clock that will be showing us once your time is running out. You can frame your talk accordingly. And along with that, we also have a Telegram group where we post all the updates related to PIM, related to the health club, related to our book club, and everything. I'll be sharing the link for Telegram in the chat window. You can have a look at it. Yeah.
And guys, if your network is very good, you can open your video, so it will be much interactive actually. Yeah.
Yes.
That's all. So we have a raise of hand for Sashi. We can start with Sashi.
Yes.
Yeah, my voice is audible?
Yes.
Yes, Sashi, you can start. Your time starts now.
Sure. Hello, everyone. Today's my topic was what to say when you talk to yourself. So, which is one of the good topic which I got from the, sorry, I forgot your name. May know.
I gave Bharat.
Yeah, sorry, bro. Okay. Anyhow, so just coming to the topic, this is the topic which is I'm just thinking from the long back time, but somehow after Bharat just gave me this topic, I just interconnected with this topic. So I just give the brief about this topic. So when you talk to yourself internally, there are like two personalities are there. One is like external person which is talking yourself, and one more the internal person. So every time when I talk to someone else, usually I don't want to talk to any external person. There are like two persons with me only. So usually, let's say it's kind of an irrational person, something like a 1+1 ratio. So there is one voice which is my external voice, one is another voice which is my internal voice. So every time these two are like irrational things. So usually I say, how do we do, man? You can stop these things. You can't able to do these kind of things. So usually I say these things to myself. This is the me. Me is different. Myself is different. So me, I'm telling to myself, no, you can't able to do. Just you chod corona. So you can't able to do it. And myself again is talking that yeah, no, you are in the wrong direction. You need to go in some kind of positive direction. You are in the wronger path. Some kind of like a opposition is coming again. Sometimes in kind of a good situation, I feel, yeah, I'm the one of the luckiest person in the world. I can do anything in the world. I say sometimes, but again, internally myself, what it will say, no, bro, you are in like a very smaller world. You can't achieve anything. You are thinking like that. There are a lot of like a good personalities than you, and you are thinking like something like that. Kind of every time like opposition is going on. When I'm in the positive, me is a positive, myself is a negative. When sometimes myself is negative, me is like a positive minded. Kind of like an irrational thing, which be every time like a fighting with me every day. So I can take one more example. After my completion my graduation, I do want to search for any job. So I just went to like a 25 companies to just get some kind of like a job. Even does not matter about the package. So whatever, even 2 lakhs package, 1 lakh package also nothing fine for me. Even at Tenikash, I need to get the job. So even I'm just going for the job and cleaning my shoe and doing a clean shave before the interview, tie and blah blah stuff. I'm going. So at that time, I am in like a very positive atmosphere. I feel like I can able to do anything. Again, myself is saying, so there are like 1,000 people, 1,500 people are coming to the interview. What you will do, you just sit in the room. That is the better thing. Again, after coming to as a failure, after coming to the interview, I just remove my cuffs and I just remove my shirt. I'm thinking like kind of dilemma. Thing is coming. No, you are in the wrong direction. No, you need to be try one more time. Might be some kind of you will get it something like that. So all these things kind of irrationality things is going on. So then what is the right decision? So do you need to consider your voice or like my inside your voice? Which voice is the correct one? So all the voice is the correct only. What we are getting, everything is the correct only. But you need to average your voices scores. Then how do we really do? So I just surrounded with kind of like a positive minded people. Every time I used to have a discussion with my seniors, my super seniors. So I asked the bro, this is my situation. How do we can able to get the job? They give me like all kind of tutorials, these things. I just try to motivate myself to everything. I joined kind of like a motivational lectures. Those time kind of like I see kind of like YouTube. I seen a lot of motivational videos. After having this kind of like a positive atmosphere, now at that time, so my internal voice and my external voice become in the both rational. Now it's not in the irrational. Even whatever I will say now, my internal voice is the same in the same pitch. We are in the same rapport. You can consider something like that. So now even after having these many positive minded people in the book club or PM kind of session, now my rapport will be more compared to the previously. Now whatever this kind of like from the rapport to the order. Now previously might be I've traveled in some kind of same rapport. Now if I try to command anything, it needs to execute. It does not have any other alternate option. So this is how my improvement has done. And one last thing was might be you can say some kind of like a false information or kind of negative information to the someone else, but you don't never say to yourself. So that is the good thing. Even though if you say that thing, you will have perfectly, you will have guilty feel you will have. So try to don't say never say false information to yourself. Better to be make kind of friendly relationship with your inner voice. So that's the end of my topic.
Wonderful, Sasi. Pretty good points that you have actually covered. Whatever, the internal struggle is actually real. I personally face it day in, day out. My, internal voice tells something, I tell one thing to myself. So there is most of the time there is a clash. But then again, if we surround ourselves with, positive people and, listen to positive affirmations and read good things, that whatever sync between those two voices can be reduced by a great means. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah.
Okay, before we proceed with other speaker, I wanted Bharat to take this time. Yeah, so he'll be speaking.
Yeah,
next.
I missed out on last week's talk, so I wanted to take this time. Okay, so my talk is from the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. So how do we usually, guys, win friends? Is simple way is, by stop making enemies. So the next question is, why do we make enemies? Okay, how do we make enemies? It's usually, when we get into a fight with them or we get into an argument with them, correct? So today I'll be talking about how to win an argument or a fight without making enemies. Okay, so actually there is a very good method which I got from this particular book. It's called as the Socrates method. So we know actually the Socrates is one of the greatest philosophers the world has ever seen. The reason why he is a great philosopher is because he has a way of dealing with the people around him. Okay, what he does, he always questions or asks questions in such a way that he always gets a response in a positive way. That means whatever question that he asks, right, the other person, no matter what, will end up saying yes. Okay, so that is how he used to deal with people around him. So that is why there were hardly any people that used to disagree with him. He used to always have pretty much control over in any argument or any discussion that he used to have with his people around him. So this is one method. So before that, let's see how we can implement these points in our personal life. So before that, I'll just tell you a small story of a young banker and a bank employee. So this young banker, one day he goes to a bank in search of opening a new bank account. Okay, so the employee so the employee asks all the questions like what is your name, what are your details, do you have this particular proof, documents and everything. So the young banker very he answers each and every question. Okay, very like he answers all the questions, and still again he asks the bank employee keeps asking few questions. So the young banker gets very frustrated. Okay, so why he's asking about my kin details, kin as in the next of the kin, the family person details and all. So the bank employee, what he does is, instead of losing the customer, he again asks question in such a way that the young banker responds in a positive way. So he tells in this way, hello, if in case by any circumstances, in case if you pass away, do you want all the benefits that are provided by the bank and also whatever money that you get from the bank, do you want all this money to be passed on to your next family member, correct or not? Then the young banker responds yes. Similarly, after the preceding questions also, whatever the banker, the employee has asked, this way the young banker responds in a positive manner. So that way what the bank employee did was, he was not able to lose out on that particular person. So what actually he did here? So what we need to learn here is whenever we are getting into a discussion or a heated argument, we actually have to communicate that we are not there for a fight. So how do we do that? So what one way is to take a deep breath in. Most of the times what we observe is, whenever you see two people arguing, they always shout very loud. Okay, no matter what, correct? So one thing we need to do is, we need to take a deep breath in, lower your voice. The other thing is we need to poke fun at each other. Okay, it shouldn't be in an intentional way, but it has to come in such a way that the other person will not recognize that. So you have to poke fun at each other. So that way what happens is, it'll actually cools down the environment and the mood and everything. But at the same time, you should be also in a position to receive jokes at you. So that is one point. And there are two more points which I'll be covering in my next talk. To summarize, guys, so whenever you're getting into an argument or a discussion, there is a method which we actually can use that is called as Socrates method, which is getting positive affirmations like yes, yes, from the other person. I've used it pretty recently. Yesterday I was in a kind of discussion with one person, but then again I remembered this method and I used it on him, and trust me guys, it worked wonderful. The person actually came into the line of discussion, and then we ended the discussion on a positive note. So the remaining 2 points I'll be covering it in my next talk.
That's wonderful, Bharat. I would like Kiran to put some notes regarding Bharat, because it will not be good if I keep praising Bharat a lot. Yeah.
So that will be very sweet. You should definitely praise him. You should definitely praise. That's why I was very quiet and listening. So it is really awesome. Bharat, keep doing it. You both are doing really good. So I'm super excited to listen from all of you, because even I have a very interesting talk to really bring out best of all of us. Good.
Thank you.
I just had a small comment to whatever Bharat said. It's like I would add whatever Bharat said. I think last week I said some one of the recent case I had about the similar, like when you get into an argument and we lose our temper to keep the situation under control. And this exactly the same thing happened, and even for a moment I forgot everything. For a moment I forgot everything, like where I'm, what discussion I am. I was in a office meeting, and all of a sudden, like based on other guys' wordings and other things, I just got heated up. So for a moment, and that is the important moment that used to come in our all of our in all of our life, that we that moment if we lose, and the situation would be like would be becoming something else. So, and rightly, as rightly Bharat said, you need to find out that particular moment, and if you are able to control that moment, then you are done. And
Yeah.
rightly, like Bharat said, that he could do that, right?
Yeah.
So it's a great thing, yeah. And but in my case, what I did, later situation, I tried to control, and I controlled also. Even as I said, I didn't have any kind of, I was not guilty, and I didn't do any mistake. But even then, I took keep the control, that situation under my control. What I did, I apologized. Even if I didn't do any mistake, then also I apologized. In the I mean to say is that if at all we are not, if we are in a learning process, right? In the same moment, if you are not able to control, the next moment is like you need to take the responsibility of the situation to make the moment, the next moment under your control.
Yeah.
So
Very well said, Chachu. Yeah. Thank you for adding to that. Yeah. So we have our next speaker, Samir. You can start, Samir. I'll be starting your timer. You can unmute yourself, and if possible, switch on your video so everyone can meet you as well.
Hello.
Yes, Samir, we can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry, maybe my connectivity is not
No
good.
worries.
So is that fine? So
completely okay. You can go ahead with the audio. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So good evening, everyone. Let me start with my topic. So I was asked to read the book What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. I was going through the chapter 3, The Missing Ingredients. So I found this book pretty much interesting, and I started reading about the book, and as Bharat suggested me to do so. So I'd like to seek your attention on this. So I'd like to cover 3 major points that I'm going to talk about. So the first missing ingredients is permanence. So when we talk about the permanence, every best idea of the best solution lasts for a very short period of time. So why is it so? So whenever we think to do something in our life, we always inspired to do so in a particular, like in a short period of time. We motivate ourselves, then we start following it for a couple of days, then we start that same ideas started going from our mind. So why these things happen? So here author trying to bring the best book that can guide him always, to remind him every morning, oh come on, you have to do these things, you have to do stuff, you cannot just lie down on your bed, get up from the bed, live it out, just do your action. So he wanted the same thing to be happen in his life. So that was the first point, that is permanence. The second point I would like to cover is a knowledge of psychological process of human brain based. So how the brain actually functions. So it's a psychological process that we need to understand our brain, and we need to understand few things, that how our brain functions and how our brain works actually. So if I talk about that, the one of the example that I wanted to crop up here is the one of the famous famous fighter is Muhammad Ali. So he always, before going into the ring, he always psych himself that I'm the winner, I'm the champion, I'm the winner, I'm the champion. So before going into the ring itself, so he was half winner. 50% of the game was him. He was done. So the rest of the 50% just go to the dais and perform your best, give your best. You're only half away. So 50% match you have already won by psyching yourself, by psyching your mind, because it was not only psyching, he did all the best out of his life. So that was the example. And the next thing is, the third point I would like to cover is a new word of words set directions. The author wanted to bring out here is, programming terminology that I call legacy systems that are already faded in our mind. So it is very difficult to curb out all those things, so to pull out all those negativity in our mind. So I just wanted to add one point to that, as Sasi already covered that. So just to addition to the Sasi point, whenever you try to do something impact, or you wanted to bring something best in your life, you have to keep psyching. So I was going through the book much more details, so I'm excited to go further. So I already read chapter 1, chapter 2, but I just gone through the missing. So I'm looking further to add, I'm looking further to read more, and I will give more information on this book.
Yeah, thank you so much, Samir. I like that point. I'm the winner, I'm the champion. That is very wonderful, actually. Yeah, even I have noticed it whenever I go into a kind of discussion with any of the person. In case if boost ourselves, I used to listen to my one of my close mentor. He used to tell us, he used to listen to motivational talks whenever he is down. So that way, what it helps is it actually reprograms our mind, at least for some time. So that way we'll be very positive to go into any meeting or any discussion in a positive frame of mind. So that really helps. I would suggest everyone, to give it a try once. And
exactly,
now,
exactly, yeah. So
yeah.
that's the solution that author gave is self-talk. So
Correct,
out of
correct.
this, all these things are the limit that he found in his life. So he wanted to suggest the self-talk, how self-talk can help us to improve.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, Samir. With no delay, we already have the guest of the day. So as this is a growth platform and everyone is always excited about growth, so we have a lot of raise of hand today for the speakers lined up, and I'm really very excited to call by one. Before that, let's welcome Richa, who is an MBA grad, and she also has corporate exposure. After some time, she took a break and then she started her entrepreneurship journey, and let's listen from her, because I am quite inspired by her all the time. There's a lot of learnings always. My words will be less to talk about her. Let's welcome her, and she'll be speaking for the day today. Yeah. Welcome, Richa.
Thank you, Supra. Same, you also inspired us so many times, and it's like pleasure and blessing to have me here. And it's literally, I feel so blessed to be part of your book club. Yeah. So if I'll talk about my topic, it is very simple and it is very common to all of us, right? We all wanted to achieve something in our life. So what we are living now and where we wanted to achieve or where we wanted to go, right? So my topic is upgradation of life from survival to significance. So if you'll go to your childhood, when we were baby, we even don't know how to walk. We were in a survival mode without knowing what to do, how to do, but wanted to do, right? We never worried about the failures or falling. हमें पता ही नहीं था कि how we can fail or how we will going to fall. But we slowly started to crawl. We learned to took small baby steps, and sometimes we fall as well. But we were never worried about the falling because we were having some purpose in our life that we wanted to achieve, right? So similarly, now as well, far too many of us get up every day in the quest of making survival income. And that survival income help us to pay our bills, take care of our family, give a roof to us and a beautiful, decent car. But along with this, we carry a burden of loan for almost half of our life. Almost 30 to 35 years we carry this burden. And because of all these things, at times, even survival becomes difficult. And we start to lower our bars of survival. Why it has happened actually in our life? Because we are so tied up with the looking after survival that we lose track of our life goals. We have forgotten who we indeed are, and we have settled ourselves for the second best even without knowing it. So here our social circle, like our friends, families, and closed ones, determine us who we are, instead of us defining for what we are here and who we are. Life teaching us that how you can walk and how you can run. So, but God has given a very beautiful power to human beings. We have that beauty in our hand that we can own our own life, the way we want, the moment we want, right? So, but the thing is, not 100%, only a certain percentage of people taste this beauty of God. Certain percentage of people reaches the level where they have a purpose in their life, right? So how we can go from survival to purpose? How we can upgrade ourselves from survival to purpose? When we have some questions in our mind, we start asking questions from ourselves, like, am I happy with the life I'm leading? How valuable is my life is, right? Is my life making any sense? Sooner or later, we will going to face this type of questions. And friends, it is not easy to answer all these questions. When you get the answer of all these questions, there when you start looking for the purpose of life. I believe that everyone comes with some purpose to become a better version. We all wanted to become a better or upgraded version of ourselves. But when we get a purpose in life, we get to know about ourselves. It's actually happened. When we come to know that we wanted to achieve these things, when we get the goals of our life, then where we find our why we are here, why God has sent us as a human being, why we are born, where here we get the answers, here we get the meaning of our life, right? It may happen that your goals, your aim, or your purpose will be different or unique from others, right? It may be, but the why of your life will give meaning and will help to transform yourself. So I'll explain you this with a beautiful story of Dinesh Mohan. It's a real story. He's a person from a Chandigarh. He's a class 1 government officer. He got married to a lady and divorced after 10 years of marriage. He took the custody of his son after his ex-wife death. His kid got diagnosed with RIPS and passed away after 6 months of the custody. You can imagine the situation of the person who has like a sick kid after so many years, and again God has taken his kid. After this incident, he was like, he shattered. He went into a deep depression for almost 12 years. He blaming everyone, including God, for whatever happened in his life. And it is very obvious for all of us. He developed lot of disease. He gained lot of weight. But by the age of 56, he was bedridden. He was staying with his sister in Gurgaon. He spent 8 months when on the bed. Then one day, his brother-in-law walked to him and said, "Why you are ruining your and our life? Let us live our life now. Please come out of this depression. Let's regain our life." There, that moment, that morning, he decided whatever happened is happened. Now I'm going to take control of my life. Now I'm going to move my life from survival to purpose. You will not know that what moment and what like morning will give you the purpose or a goal or a dream to achieve, right? But he started his journey from there only. The journey was not pretty in the beginning, but the result was super. He is 62 years young today, and he is a renowned model in India. He found his purpose and he achieved it. He achieved at the age of 60. Now he's 62, but he took 2 years to get that stage or to get that achievement in his life. So it may be there that your goals or whatever path you will going to identify for yourself will be different from others, or change throughout life in response to the evolving priorities and fluctuations of your own experiences. But every one of us have to come out from all these things. We might face some challenges and obstacles in our journey, but we need to have that passion. We need to have that courage to get over all these things, where we get our like significance, where we get successfully achieve our life. But when we achieve our life purpose, or when we successfully achieve it, our life focus change from fulfilling our goals to making a difference to the world. Here, we are no longer just about us, no longer what I wanted to have, no longer what I wanted to own. We start contributing to millions of people's life. A legacy. We always talk about a legacy. A legacy, we achieve it at the stage of significance which we wanted to leave behind us. When we begin impacting other people positively, and when we started creating a difference in their life, there when we achieve the real significance. Yes. This also I can explain you with the current situation. Let's take this COVID situation example. People job is at stake. Everybody knows it. Companies have already cutting salary. Most of the businesses are down and some of them are closed. Everyone wanted to help others, and we are contributing to our level best, right? But in this situation where our own survival is at stake, how much can you help others? Let's say a thought, tomorrow morning, a thought came to my mind that I wanted to help 10,000 people with the food. Can I do that even without thinking twice? Can I really do that? We achieve significance when we help people we help people on our will without compromising our life standards, right? We are on the stage where we should not we should not go beyond our bars, right? Here, Bill Gates, everybody knows the Bill Gates, right? It is a very beautiful example of significance, right? At times, we don't realize why do we need to achieve significance and how we can make a difference with it. But Bill Gates was a person who rose above survival and moved to a life of purpose. And by the end of his retirement, he was a satisfied man. He wanted to do something for people and started lot of initiatives, one of which was sanitization. He started this in African countries where people are dying like anything from diarrhea. He invested almost or close to $25 million. He did lot of workshops, experiments. He took help of so many scientists and the universities. And why he can do all these things? He came up with a very good results because he achieved that significance in his life. He was able to invest his time, money, and knowledge, right? So for the life of significance, we need to be grateful for the things, whatever we have, while we are striving for more. So I will end my quote with the beautiful saying that we are meant to live heroic life. We are meant to thrive, not just survive. So with this, I'm ending with my topic today. So thank you, Supra. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Richa. The talk was really wonderful, and I was trying to connect with the story which I actually heard for the first time, but it was really inspiring. Just to say, age is just a number to make that thought change what everyone can think actually. And when you were talking about that why, most of the people here, whoever has joined, is actually already successful in their life. But we always give a reason of time or something because our why is not clear. And when I came across this book, Find Your Why or something, I read that book. It actually changed my perspective, and then I got to know that finding your own why is very much important to go to that significance level which you were entirely talking about in your talk. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Richadi. Actually, that point, because of survival, we lose our life goals. That actually, it's the life story of almost all the IT employees, I would say. It's
Yes.
because of all our survival needs. We most of the time we give up on our passion, we give up on our dreams. But then again, if we surround ourselves with, people who are actually, fighting for this passion, actually if we can rub off some positive sense from there, and we can also try to set up some goals and aspirations, so that way actually we will also step out from that survival zone. Thank you so much for
Just one
Thanks
thing
a
I would
lot,
like
Bharat
to
and
extend.
Supra.
I would just like to extend one thing. So what I have noticed is inspiration can be drawn from anything and everybody around you. In fact, to be honest, I know a pushcart vendor who will he will sell dosas, and he will next day when he comes in, he gets small biryani packets, and while coming to the place where he sets up the shop, he passes it to the beggars or needful homeless people, right? So when I started noticing that particular person who was earning only a few amount of, he is not making big money like us. I'll be very honest, but still, whatever he's making, he has the why to understand the purpose of life. He understands that he has to serve someone. So that is a beautiful thing, and these small things are something that you tend to notice every day. Even that can draw very good. You can draw very good inspirations out of that. So that is something. Keep lookout about things are happening around you. Those small things will draw inspirations for you.
Yeah.
Balaji. Thank you, Bharat and Supra. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much, Richadi, again. Yeah.
Kiran will be adding something, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
I anyway wanted to add in the end, so it's really honored Richard to come because I know her personally, seeing her growing for almost 2.5 years. So it's one thing is that when you see a person for the first time, and when you know a person from many years, and you see them grow, fighting the tough time and go beyond it and still fight. That is where the real inspiration comes, because when you don't know a person, then it is very difficult to connect. But when you know the person's background, you will exactly be able to visualize कैसे उनको मतलब वो दुख होता होगा, how much of struggle they must have gone through, and still everyone struggles with their own battles to fight, right? So that is where the inspiration comes for all of us. So thank you so much, Richard. It is really wonderful to hear you again. I'm so honored.
Kiran, and thank you. I'm like pleasure or blessed to be part of your book reading club. So many thank you.
Thank you so much again. Yeah.
Yeah. Next, we have Shahid. Yeah, Shahid. Next.
Yeah, your time starts now.
Hi, folks. First of all, I would like to say thank you, Rupa ma'am, Supriya ma'am, as well as Kumar sir and Bharat sir, for giving me such a wonderful, technique to read the book. Really, it was an amazing that now I feel confident to explain myself in front of you people in a more effective manner. So let's start. What I would like to say with you that, today's topic is something called the magic of thinking big. In that, believe you can succeed and you will. We all have, a topic called something called success in our minds. What we feel about success. Maybe some people feel like having, a settled career, having, lots of money, financial freedom, and n number of things which we have. According to, some people, success means something called achieving their goals. According to some people, success means something called money. According to some people, success means something called happiness, and the list is n. So all of those in this book, he has explained, the David, the poet, the writer of this book has explained in a perfect manner that if you are believing that you can achieve, you can successful in your life, then definitely you will be successful in your life. If you are feeling like, if you are going in a negative manner that you are unable to be successful in your life, then definitely you are gonna be unsuccessful person and you are gonna be a failure person. If you feel like I can do it, like let us take a small instance, like lots of people, new people are here in this group. those who don't know how to talk in front of people, those who don't know, anything about making a video call and something like that. They have never visited any book club till here, but still now they are visiting. They are having a fear of that, whether I can perform it or whether I am unable to perform it. If you are feeling like you are unable to do it, then definitely you are unable to do it. If you are having a strong belief that you can do it, then definitely you can do it. But how to do it is a big question. Like, we can say that you should be confident, you should be excited about the thing which you are doing. If you are feeling like it's gonna be good, then definitely it's gonna be good. But if you are feeling like it's gonna be failure, then definitely it's gonna be failure. So I have some points with me that if you have such kind of thing that you want to change your beliefs, you want to change your beliefs to strong beliefs to success, then you should feel like you should think in your mind. You should convert your positive, I mean negative thoughts into positive way. As Sasi and Samir told that we should talk to ourselves. We should not keep on just listening to other people. We have to think about ourselves in our mind that I can do it. If you are thinking like you can do it, then definitely you can do it. And another thing is, you should not feel like some people are extraordinary. Like, let us take example, you all are my teachers, and if I am saying that if I am following you, then I can learn lots of things from you. But if I am feeling and I am just keep on praying you, if I am feeling like you are a god, then I am unable to come to you. I mean, I am unable to overtake you. If you are feeling like you are more effective, you are more effective than those people, then you can achieve it. If you have to do all the thing is just you believe in yourself that you can do it. So, and another thing, finally, I would like to tell you that every people has a perception how much success they are, how much talented they are. They feel like they are nothing. So that's their big mistake, or I can consider it's a common tendency of the people, a natural tendency of people. And we should feel like how much we think about ourselves. We are more than that. If we are feeling like that, then we can do it. Like, even though you can consider this book club, it was an idea before, but now it has converted into reality. If you feel like at the time that the founders have find out that this is nothing, like I am unable to do it, I am unable to perform it, because the people may not come, or lots of things may think, I mean lots of ideas may come to your mind, but still they have a confidence that we can do it. So that's why they are here. Thank you so much for listening me with your patience. And I would like to say today I came with new energy. I read that book and I got some beliefs in that I will do definitely. I can explain my best. So I am doing that. And I feel like today's session was really amazing for me. And thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Very wonderful, Shahid. You really were energetic, as you said. And the best part is you always submit so much and you take feedback and you put it into action, which I observed today in your talk. And that was really wonderful.
Yeah, like Kiran was also mentioning, yeah, you have evolved. Like whatever points that we were discussing, like at the end of last week's, talk, book club. So actually you have corrected all of those points and you were able to relate. I mean, one feedback that we gave you is to relate with your personal life, which you actually done it when you read this book this time and you shared it amazingly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
this book has given lots of confidence in me. Like I was feeling like I was unable to read the book, but
Yeah.
when I read that book, I got something called I can read the books also. So yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I know, Shahid. That's why I wanted to recommend you this book actually. So I hope I'm
Thank
happy
you
that
so much
it
from
worked.
my bottom of the heart, sir, for
Yeah.
giving me and suggesting me that book.
Yeah.
Okay, we have next Kamal. You can unmute yourself, Kamal, and if possible, you can switch on the video if your network is good.
Thank you, Supra. So I'm audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. So, hi all, my name is by profession, I'm an engineer, and today
Kamal, I think your voice is breaking. Maybe you can turn off your video. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, maybe I'm on the not on the dedicated connection. Maybe this would be a glance of the book, not on the dedicated connection. Maybe this would be. Yeah. Is it okay, Bharat, now?
Yeah, can you
Bharat,
be
is it
a bit
alright
louder?
now? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it alright now?
Yes.
You can start.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the story of the rich dad and the poor dad. And it's the story of the ordinary boy named Robert Kiyosaki. And he got a birth in an ordinary family, poor family. And by chance, he admitted in a school where the richest kids studying. But the richest kids had a barrier with them, the Robert, and with them, because Robert didn't have the toys and all the luxuries things, and he was irritated one day and went to his father, poor father, and asked that how we can earn more money for these things. His father told him that, hey, do one thing, use your brain, do hard work, get good percentage, and secure one job for you that will definitely work for you to earn money. But meanwhile, he was not satisfied with this answer, and meanwhile he was friendship with the boy named Mike. And now the rich dad comes into picture, and the rich dad was the Mike father, his best friend father, and he went to his father to ask the same question: how we can earn more money to be richest. So his father told him, because he was the richest man in that particular area, he told him the story, how money works, and how rich people works or invest on the assets in place of liabilities, where the poor people and the middle class people invest on more money on their liabilities. So, and he also told him that how money flows and money works. When we get some money from our let's say from job, get some income from job, and we have some expenses, and we spend most of the money in expenses, and we don't get asset, or we don't buy asset. So all our liabilities, and the poor and middle class people thinks that these liabilities are our assets. But in place of that, the businessmen, the richest people do work on their assets, stocks, and mutual funds. They invest all the money to their assets, and they know how money works for them, and their life is more secure, more joyful, more pleasure. But the poor people live their life with fear of the bills and greed. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kamal, for touching upon pretty important points like the assets and liabilities. I would recommend everybody to go through this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. It is all the #1 book on personal finance. Actually, he explains amazingly some small techniques. How he used to spend his money. Even when he was a kid, he actually started his business of his own at the age of 9 rupees, because that is the tip that he got from his rich dad. There's some amazing stories that he personally documented in this book. I would recommend everybody to give it a read in case if you haven't done already. Yeah.
And I believe Kamal spoke for the first time in the book club, and
Yes.
it was really good. Kamal, you can be always a speaker and keep reading this book. Did we had Kamal's introduction like with everyone? No.
I think he introduced.
He introduced. Okay. Thank you, Kamal. So we have Mohini as our next speaker.
Yes.
You can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see me?
Yes, Mohini. Yeah, you can start your topic.
Okay, so hi everyone. I think it's a great night. I mean, so many good talks, lined up, and amazing energy and amazing content, I would say. So yeah, I also have a similar topic about Rich Dad and Poor Dad. So I was going through chapter 1 and 2 of those. Of that book. So from chapter 1, what I understood that the author wants to say that he's having, he's getting two kinds of opinion. One is from the rich dad and one is from the poor dad. So he gives an example that if he wants to buy something, so the rich dad would sorry the poor dad will say that okay, we cannot afford that, so let's not buy that, whereas the rich dad will say that let's see how we can get it. So he talks about the pattern, the thinking which is different for both the parents, I mean for both the dads, which makes a big difference, a huge difference for being rich and poor. So initially I thought like, okay, so are we going to talk about money and things like that? But in the chapter 2, I would say that no, I mean we are talking about money, but at the same time we are talking about some really good lessons which will help you in throughout your life, like how Richa ma'am told about that people they're just surviving, they're not living a life of purpose. So he also talks about and on the similar lines. Okay, so first of all, I would say that he says that you'll have so many opportunities coming and going in your life, but you should have that skill to make a decision so that you know that this is the opportunity which you need to grab. So so in like he also says that life is all about life will always push you into some or the other challenges, but it is up to you how you take it and then how you come out of that challenge. Even one of the Bijay's talk yesterday, I mean Saturday we had, right? So in that we were discussing about how to adapt to changes. So it is something similar to that. So life will throw you challenges, but it is up to you how you take those challenges and make it turn it into an opportunity and adapt yourself. So that's what he talks about. That is the first point, I would say. So he also says that there will be people who are ready to learn the lessons from all these changes. If you're not learning, then you will not go anywhere. So this is what we need to learn, because people are they are like, okay, we learn whatever we have learned in the schools or whatever we have learned in the college, that's it. But no, life is all about change is the only constant. So you need to keep yourself open. You should just keep learning new things so that you can grow higher and higher. Okay, you should not close your mind. So the main idea about all these points are that you need to have a broader vision. So you should not control yourself or keep thinking about the old methodologies, or you just keep thinking on whatever you have learned. Not, you should try to have a broader perspective, is what he says. And one last point I wanted to cover. So he also talks about that why people, they don't go move ahead in their life. So there are two reasons. One is the fear and one is the desire. So when they have that fear that okay, I cannot do this decision because it's very risky, I'll lose my job, I'll lose the money, and you don't want to do that. So that fear drives you in a way. So, and similarly desire, like if you want to get the luxury, you want to get a car, you want to get this thing, so you will work hard for that money, but at the end you are not satisfied. Like once you get that, still you have that desire, you have another desire to do that, so you don't get that satisfaction. So what the author says is, never let your emotions drive you, like fear and desire, never let those emotions drive you. Always use your head, always use the thing which is between your ears. So that's all. The one last quote. So he says that you really wanted to win. So you really wanted to win, but the fear of losing was greater than the excitement of winning. So don't lose that excitement, and keep working for your goals. Thank you.
Yeah.
Could see your excitement, Mohini. It was wonderful.
Yeah, I
Thank
believe
you.
you've completely and properly understood whatever Robert wanted to say actually, and very well you have summarized your talk with whatever learnings that you had during the workshop that we had on Saturday. I could see that you have included those learnings as well with whatever you have learned from this book. That is a pretty nice way of relating whatever you have learned from some other place and relating with whatever you have read it very recently. Very nice. And whatever you said about fear and desire, right? It is actually pretty true. Most of the time we have a lot of desires, but then again at the same time we have a fear creeping in, saying that you should not have those kind of fears. But then again, if we are again go back to that why part, it all boils down to the why again. So if we are clear on that why part again, the desire will take a step forward in our fears. Thank you so much, Mohini, for sharing your wonderful knowledge. Yeah. Next.
Next, I thought I'll be going before we could take the other speaker, because I wanted to touch on a very nice assignment. My talk has a very small assignment in that. So maybe it could be helpful for you guys, thinking that I thought I'll be going next for you all. So this is from a very wonderful book, which I was reading for this entire whole week, guys. This is by the author Thomas Turner, Fully Engaged. Okay, so this is a very good book, and I'll be just talking about the basic thing and one of the practice which he was talking about. The wonderful thing is your mind will create a lot of thoughts with your permission or without your permission. You could be the owner or the servant, doesn't matter, but the thoughts will always be created. So the only thing is awareness. You are the one who is going to decide on the awareness where you want to be. The current state of mind, the future, or the past. As simple as it is. So when I'm going to talk about this particular topic, being fully engaged, what it actually means. So fully engaged means, let's assume, guys, I'm sitting here in front of all of you and listening to all your talks. There will be a very wonderful line which you would have told, not necessary that I can connect or recollect it later point of time. But if I'm really engaged in your talk, I'll make a note down of that particular point, which could be a very useful talk point for me, which I can add somewhere as a speaker, or could add in someone's life. So that's what a value add means. You can take value add in any perspective in your life, but that I personally think that if I have knowledge, abundance knowledge with me, whatever books I read, could be 5, 10, any number. But if I'm limiting that knowledge within only myself, I'm going to die with that knowledge, and it is of no use actually. So it is very well said. I have been listening from my childhood. When whatever knowledge, when shared only, it grows. Think the generation we are today, the knowledge has been passed on generation wise generation. That's the reason today we are here. The same as this book talks about lot of things, how you should be fully engaged and practice your mind to be in the current state. It's really not that easy, guys, because we currently in the situation, we are very much distracted with a lot of things happening around, lot of things. We take a goal, but we cannot achieve it. Let's assume I make a goal to at least do a 5 to 10 minutes of meditation or a yoga, which will make me refreshing. But the moment I don't do it, I have a talk along with myself. There is no one who is coming to tell me about it. But the fact is, the mind itself talks to me that this was the activity you planned, but you did not do. This was the activity you planned, you did not do. So success, inspiration, and failure, these are actually on the same line if you closely look. But the thing is, we always focus that I did not do, and we consider ourselves as a failure, but that's not how it is. So the author talks here about a very small assignment or a technique which you can follow, is that is called as thought awareness training. So in this, what you guys are going to do, I'll talk on a very simple way. You might have heard by many people how you can focus your thought, this, that. You guys may not, you would have tried or not, I'm not sure about it. But the thing is, most of the things we do not implement. Let's take for an example, being an IT professional, I have implemented this because I really get stressed out some point of time while working, like in a continuous stress or being on a call for a very long time. So whenever you get a time, after I read this, I tried implementing it, guys. Just wherever you're sitting in your chair, you just have to relax, start a stopwatch with 2 minutes, just close your eyes, relax, and let all the thoughts, your manager, your work, whatever possible thought comes to your brain, let it come, and just close your eyes and sit. The moment the alarm bips, 2 minutes, open your eyes, and take a piece of paper and write each single word or a sentence, whatever comes to your mind, and just write it down. This is just the technique. You don't have to do anything with it. Just write it down. After your work is done, after you are okay with the environment, you're out of it, just go take that piece of paper and just see in that 2 minutes of time, how many thoughts actually came, what all bothered you. And you will be really surprised to see yourself, guys, that our human brain has so much capacity that the conscious and the subconscious works together, and there will be so many words that you would have written in 2 minutes of time. So imagine, guys, in that working environment or anything in the kitchen, whatever, wherever you are, we actually create so much of thoughts. Then how can you say that you're fully engaged, really? So he taught this particular technique. Whenever you are in any particular thing, just make yourself engaged over there. I'll be covering the next topic. This was today's assignment, so I thought to cover on this part. And that's all to summarize, is practice this assignment. just to know that your thought is actually overloading and you need to actually put it down to a balanced state and being in the present state and work where you're working at that particular time. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, it's a wonderful exercise actually. Personally, I know Supra, she thinks a lot, so it is kind of useful for people who thinks a lot. For me, I don't think too much. That's what I believe, but it works pretty well for someone who thinks a lot. It's good to write it down and reflect upon your thoughts so that you can take actions accordingly. Wonderful sharing, Supra. And we have a new person who joined us today, Santosh. Yes, Santosh, would you like to introduce yourself? Just name who introduced you and where are you from and where you're working currently.
You can unmute yourself.
Santosh is not
Santosh,
there.
I think he's missing, I believe.
Oh, he dropped out. Okay, then we can move with Sai Vinit.
Joining again, I think, I believe.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Sai Vinit, he requested us to give him additional time today. So
yeah, so he can move on and talk about his topic. Yes, Sai, your time starts now. You can spotlight him. Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, all. Sorry, not evening. This is night actually. So, is my voice audible and my video is clear?
Yes.
Yeah, fine. Thanks, Bharat and Supra, for giving me more time. And I was thinking when I will be talking, like I know that I will be last, but I was excited to talk first. The thing was like why I was excited was I'm going to share some points which is very important to all of us. And before starting the points, I want to tell about myself more. Why? Because it's always connected with everyone whenever I go. So the thing was when I was in childhood, around 5th class, I guess. So I was having some discussions with my friends. I'm getting a lot of doubts and I was not getting many answers. Then after 5th, I went to 6th. So that time I moved out of my village. I was into city. So I was having around 500 to 600 people in my school. So there are again so many questions raised and based on lifestyle and based on the people, how they behave and how they talk. And everything was questioning to me and I was not knowing whether the questions were correct to me or I was imagining the questions. So there was again a lot of discrepancies. So it was not never ending. So I went for 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and the every year the strength of people I'm meeting and the strength of exposure I'm getting, it increased my questions also, like why it's all happening. Then +1 and +2, I traveled around 300 kilometers far from my village and I studied in some good college, and there I had more than 2000 people in my college and I made more than 400 friends. So again the thing was like I was literally disturbed. Why? Because some people used to tell their emotions to me and I was little emotionally disturbed. So when they share the emotions, I was not knowing how to handle it. So I was also used to feel bad, and when someone tells some bad stories to me, I even feel bad. So that's what I'm very much emotionally weak at that point of time. And I went for BTech. I studied in other state actually, so it was around 1000 kilometers far from my place. So that time I was understanding different topics. Again, there was a big confusion. I won't get much answers whatever I was searching. So again, there was more why questions. So this loop is not ending. Why? So then I started interacting with some people that who I felt that they'll give some good answers. So that really helped me. So now I'll get into topic. Why all I talked about this, we will understand when I get into topic. So my topic was why like some techniques. What are some techniques that which helps us to read books faster and to read many books. So the first thing was whenever I read a book, I always connect with my life. I always question like why this topic like means how this topic is helping me. So that is the first thing. I always connect with it. So that will drive me very crazy. And I used to read very fast because I want to know what from these many years I was not to me. For everyone, we have a lot of questions in our mind. To know the answers, you need to search for it. No one will come and give to it. So when searching in searching, reading is one of the best part. So while reading, you will be getting many things. That's why I always connect with you. And the second thing I want to tell you was like, you need to do some research before reading any book. So if you're interested in stories, you need to do little much in a practical such, like how the story is going to impact you, and what is the content they are going to deliver. And if you read about self-helping book, there are a lot of divisions in self-helping also. So you need to be very clear which division you want to choose, so that will make you understand before only that what you're going to read, and that gives you little curiosity and little excitement. Once you use that little thing now, it will make you very big. So start having that. And the third thing I want to tell was, you should never ever compare with others when you are reading. You should not think that Bharat is reading 5 books and Supra is reading 6 books, so I should also complete 7 books. You should never ever have such type of targets. You should always feel that if you read one page today, you should think that tomorrow I should read 2 pages. So you are the best competitor for yourself. And if you're really interested in challenges, try to have challenge with your best ones and loved ones. Why? Because they are the one who truly supports. So I tell not to have much more competitions on readings. And next thing I suggest was, there are many apps which gives you very good information about the books which you want to read. I suggest you a Goodread. It's an one app, so it will suggest you like you can get a good friends over there, and there are a lot of groups which gives you some good real content which you want to implement. And next thing, the fourth point which I want to cover was, you need to have some reminders in your life. For day-to-day life, you must have, like if you see my phone or if you see my iPad, I used to have some around 5 to 6 reminders of me. What that tells was, like when I was in starting, when I was reading the book, the first early morning, I get a reminder that you need to read some book. So it excites me. So like what book I'm going to choose. Like I was that time a random reader, so I used to not read continuously. So I was the person who takes different topics, and I used to cover all the many topics as soon as possible. So that is one of the exciting thing. So you should have much reminders as possible, so that you will never forget. If you don't want to use phone much, you can add a wall sticker to your house, so that you will keep reading book has a very much high priority. So that will means priority in the sense, like when you keep the reminder, that will make you priority. Further also, you have many apps, and you should be very consistent. So if you read 1 page today, tomorrow you need to keep a target as 2 pages. But if you are not able to read 2 pages also, read at least 1 passage. That's what I can suggest. If you read 1 passage tomorrow, and day after tomorrow, definitely will read 2 pages. Why? Because the power of consistency will impact in such a way that you will never imagine. The which I am facing now was like the beauty of consistency. So I was reading from I don't want to share my achievements in this video. So I was reading from some many days. So whenever I read in a book, I feel like I can read for more than 3 hours, 4 hours also. But I never does, but because I used to engage with other works also. That's how it happens. And fifth point I want to cover was, never ever think that book reading was a very difficult task. It's a very important and very easy task. So always have a good mindset and good will before starting a book. And next point I want to tell was, the sixth point I mean to cover, you should always choose a book before you are reading. So you need to go with your best feel, like whatever you feel good about yourself and whatever you want to learn. So you need to focus on that. You need to read the books which you want to read. You should not think about the books which you don't know. And if you want to read that books also, there is one topic called connecting dots. So every book has one dot that is with intellect with your life. So you need to connect that dot with your dot. So that will makes you crazy, and that will makes you help read the book most. And the last point I want to cover was, whenever you read a book, or whenever you get a knowledge, or whenever you get something information, try to implement in your life. So I have read so many books. I will not be implementing all the things. Why? Because it's not practically possible. But from every book, I used to implement one thing that will make me more interested to touch one more book. So this is last point, and I want to end with a quote. If you're not reading any book for today, or if you're not getting any knowledge from anywhere from this world, so you will be a same person again. So I always feel that being a same person is again being a boring boy. So never be a boring boy to yourself. Maybe you can be for others, but never be to yourself. And do something. Then always keep doing something. Maybe reading a book, or chatting with someone, or doing some crazy stuff. That's very important. Why? Because you may get experience, or else you'll get a knowledge. Both will always add value to your life. So this is what I want to end. Hope it will add some value to all. Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful, Sai Vinit. So this much of knowledge, now we understand actually, why you are so passionate about reading, books. You have actually done pretty good research about each and every point, aspect of, related to book reading, right from selection of the book, and next is how do we understand it. And the one point you mentioned about is the connecting dots. Actually, that is very true. I used to, I've been in part of, multiple book clubs, and when I see speakers talking and referring to other speakers when they talk about a particular topic, so I used to think like, how come this particular point they've already read in that book, and how come this again coming up in a different book? This actually makes sense because most of the authors or the writers, they have a different kind of thought process which will automatically collapse or combine together, and this is how this connecting dot works. Yeah, pretty interesting point actually.
Yeah, adding to this, I remembered something which I have always been hearing from a lot of our leaders is like, if you're still cherishing about your past, means you have really not grown in the current, or you will not be growing because you're still in the past. And the best part is when we're talking about the reminder, and also they say one very important thing, that anyway our entire day is going to run, why not feed our brain first early in the morning as soon as we wake up? Make sure you sit in the bed for 10 more minutes, open a book and just read that 2 pages. You don't have to really read more, read that 2 pages, make some underlines. I mean, that is one of the practice if everyone can do. If you're following your Kindle or anything, you can do in that way. And yeah, back to Kiran, who will be again summarizing for every one of you.
We actually couldn't give Kiran time today because actually there are some pretty good talks this week, and it was very nice actually.
And Kiran had a surprise talk for all, but I think we'll be taking him next.
Next time maybe, yeah.
I'm so happy actually, if people are excited and speaking with multiple talks, if my chance doesn't come, I'm super happy. Anyway, we all have different opportunities, different platform to express ourselves. And I wanted to share a short story though, I won't be sharing right now, which will describe and which will help you to see how you can leverage the book club and all of the sessions, what we are doing in a best possible way. And if you have that one quality, then you can actually take out the best of it. You see, right, ganna juice, you have drank sugarcane juice, right? The sugarcane juice tasty happens when it is squeezed properly and then take the all there and then he throws away. So if you know how to exactly squeeze the platform in your own way, then you can take the best out of it. Because I see many people who are attending almost 1 month, 2 months, and people are becoming regular. But there could be possibility that if you keep coming, but if you don't get that quality inside your heart and start applying, then you may lose that passion again. Because again, the purpose has to be there. Why are we coming here? Why are we sharing? Why are we reading books? Why are we talking to everyone? Why are we talking to Bharat Supra? Why are we coming to PM sessions? All those things has to be revisited. So I'll talk in the maybe next book club where you can really leverage how you can use this platform for best of your growth, so that that quality will be surviving for you for many years, which will help you to go out of complacency. Most of the time we become very comfortable what we are doing. If you're doing book club, initially it was uncomfortable to you, but now because Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, part of book club is, you're there, you're coming, maybe Saturday also you're coming. Initially it is uncomfortable because, all of a sudden Saturday you have to sacrifice 1.5 hours, you have to listen to Vijay, you have to come to Wednesday, you have to talk about a topic also, you have to prepare. So it was very, very big, gigantic task. But after 1 month, 1.5 months, you feel, it is so easy. It is like brushing your teeth, you're coming, you're listening, everything is fine, you're sharing the topic and again departing. But if you realize that is where your complacency comes, attitude of complacency. We become very complacent and then we lose passion. So stay tuned for the next week's topic because it will be very interesting. It will bring out you from the tip and make you fly more and higher. So thank you so much, Bharat and Supra. It is really honor. I'm super excited, and especially Sai's talk. So he really did our job pretty nicely, because we don't have to promote books anymore. You all only promoting books. That itself is enough, and he has so many reasons to give you that why do we need read books. So super awesome, Sai. Keep doing awesome. So see you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kiran. And I really wanted to say to all the speakers that you guys really spoke very well today. I mean, each of you, and every time you speak, you're becoming a better person and the better version of yourself. And I would say that the basic 4 books which we are recommending all of you, the 5 books, as soon as you complete that book, you actually will see a different person in yourself, because there are still a lot more books which you connect with Kiran, with Bharat or me. You'll get to know that there are still wonderful books which you will think that why you did not get it earlier. So the reason you have to read this basic book is that will give you the basic understanding to open your mind. So the moment the mind is open, it will start accepting the new things. So when you're locking the door for this books only, how can you go to the next level of the books? Because there's still more higher content actually. That's the only reason we are asking you to read the basic level book. There is nothing like you cannot speak on. You obviously can speak on every single book which you love to always read. See, most of the people, some of them say me that I only read novels and I read only this. Many people say me. I frankly say, guys, I'm a person who never restrict myself from any book. Today, someone would have suggested me a book. I'll put it in my to-do, or I'll buy just that book and put in my shelf. I may not read it now, but I really explore all single book, because today someone who met you might be a messenger in your life to give you a message, and that might be there in that book. You never know. So maybe today or tomorrow, I might pick that and read and get that content out of it. So yeah, we are end for the session. And yeah, as I always say, block your topics as soon as possible for the upcoming Sunday. The reason I say Sunday is again for you guys, so you have still 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, to prepare your talk, so that you are not stressed out in the last moment and you will be excited to speak. And that's the only reason I make it Sunday, not because I am very strict or anything. It's nothing like that. It's just for your good. I make sure that you are ready with your talk, so we can accommodate as much a speaker in this book club, so many people can speak and get the opportunity. Okay, let's meet for the next week. Anything to add from your side?
I'm actually pretty excited for Kiran's next week talk. I'm actually thinking what it will be. I'm pretty excited actually. Yeah, thank you so much everyone and Kiran for adding so much value to our book club, and hope to see you all in this week's workshop as well, Vijay's workshop. It's pretty another amazing topic which we'll be soon sharing the details with you.
And one more announcement I wanted to make, guys. Make your dreams, and one of the dream is always going live. Whoever is really interested for live, guys or girls, reach out to Bharat, me or Kiran, anyone, because we are ready to go live with you with wonderful topics from this 4-5 books, the basic ones. So which if you're not ready with the topic also, just say you are ready for the live. We can prepare and then we can go with the live. Right, Kiran? I think Kiran is always ready for everyone, for everything. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So keep growing and see you again next week.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Bye, Sai.